There she go. Nina, Nina. What up, y'all? Y'all coming in. Welcome to For the People. What's up, Miss Saleh? What's good? Welcome to For the People. Say something, let me know y'all in here. Let me know y'all in here. What up, Trayvon? That's the Jamaican flag. Oh. I gotta scroll up. It didn't even let me know y'all was saying nothing. What up, what up, what up? Be everywhere, always seeing you. What's good, what's good? For the people. Welcome to For the People. We're gonna have a good time tonight. This is my first show, so I appreciate y'all getting in here. We'll get some more people in a minute. Let's get it. I don't mind you getting off for a second and texting your friends and telling them to get on. I know it's different from Facebook because you can't share it, but got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot has gone on this week, so I'm really excited about getting the convo smacking tonight. Taking some questions too. What up, Jay? Appreciate it. For the people. You can share it? Oh, if you could share it, then definitely share this live. Okay. Y'all teaching me something. I'm gonna hit y'all with the theme song. Welcome to For the People. It's your boy Malloy. We do it for the people. Yeah. We do it for the people. Yeah. What up? We do it for the people. Talking about your dreams, talking about everything. Yeah. We do it for the people. Showing you how to go get that bag and what it means to be black in America. What's up? We got people in here all the way in Brazil. Run that back. It's your boy Malloy. We do it for the people. We do it for the people. I appreciate that. Dallas, Texas. Where y'all from? Post that. I want to know where y'all from. Where y'all watching from? Showing you how to go get that bag and what it means to be black in America. Ohio, Atlanta, Jersey. Let's go. It's your boy Malloy. Houston, Saginaw. Hey, beautiful. Good stuff. PA. Miami. Get that bag. London in the house. New York. I love it. I miss London.
Let's go. It's your boy Malloy.
Salisbury, Maryland. Y'all, I appreciate y'all coming through. I really, really do. Like I said, this is the first show for the people. I'm really, 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 really excited about it. I'm going to be talking to some of my friends. I'm going to be talking to some people that you all love and grew up admiring. I'm going to be talking to some industry vets, some relationship experts, producers, artists, preachers, everybody, authors. It's going to be really, really good. And we're going to see how I go. But y'all be holding me down. Y'all support me in anything that I do. So I ain't worried about that. But it's going to be really good. So we're going to talk about some stuff that y'all want to talk about and some stuff that y'all need to hear from my perspective and from some of my friends' perspective. So it's going to be really, really, really good. My first guest tonight is, so every week, so let me tell you this, every week we're going to have a big special guest, and then we're going to talk to Jeffrey Skinner in New York City about politics and current events and things like that. So it's going to be really, really, really good. So yeah, my first guest tonight is world-renowned, one of the biggest track producers in the world, Zaytoven. Honored to call him friend and brother, and honored to say that I've worked with him. So I'm excited about that. And I think that you all will get to hear him like you've never heard him. Because I don't think he does a lot of interviews, but he's looking out for me, so it's gonna be good. And when I'm done with the interview, I definitely will be uploading it to YouTube and Facebook. So you can, if you miss something, you can watch it again. So he should be on in a couple minutes, between 8:10 and 8:15. Yeah, Zaytoven. And we got a song together. It's called Got You. And we're going to get into that and how that even happened. We're going to check that out too. So Got You. Travis Malloy, produced by Zaytoven. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, what up, what up, what up, what up? Appreciate you. Appreciate that. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm excited to talk to him. Do I got some Travis Malloy fans on here? Macon. What's up? Do I got some Travis Malloy fans in here? If I do, can y'all at least put what your favorite song is? Let me know what your favorite song is about Travis Malloy. Tell me that. That's how I know you're a real fan or not. Tim Mixon, I promise I'm going to call you. Happy birthday, brother. It's my brother Tim Mixon's birthday. What up? Welcome to For the People, Tim. We about to interview Zaytoven. It's getting ready to get crazy. Listen, tell me, somebody said they've been a fan. I want to know what your favorite song is by Travis Malloy. I don't see no titles coming up. What's up? I don't see no titles. 1 in a million. Okay. 1 in a million. Zaytoven's in the building. I pumped the Christmas song. Walk through it. Okay. Okay. World go round. Dreams. What you know about that? He said 1 in a million. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Wonderful God. That is definitely a Travis Malloy classic. He could do it all. Everything right from the Love Languages album. Okay. Okay. Dreams. Ebony. Vanjana, I love God. But not best friend. Okay. Listen. Favor. I appreciate the love. Listen, we about to bring my brother on because he's one of the biggest producers in the world. So that means he's one of the busiest men in the world. And I don't want to keep him Quick Love, We Serve a Mighty God. Listen, if y'all never heard my song Quick Love, that's probably the best written song I've ever wrote in my life. Y'all got to check that out. Adonis, what up? Welcome to For the People. I'm going to play the theme song one time, then we're going to call Zay.
Let's go. It's your boy Malloy. We do it for the people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do it for the people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do it for the people. Talking about your dreams, talking about everything you want. Yeah.
Hey.
Showing you how to go get that bag. And what it means to be black in America.
All right, here we go. Zay, I'm about to call you. Here we go. Zay is saying unable to join. I don't know why I'm saying that, Zay. You might have to go out and come back in, but I just tried to add you and said unable. Hey. Listen, y'all got to get excited. It ain't just every day you get to talk to one of the biggest producers in the world. It just ain't. Let me know or say something. Here we go.
Yo.
There you go.
What's up?
See, you ain't even at the office, bro. You ain't even,
Man,
listen, you ain't you on tour.
I'm moving and grooving.
In the middle of a pandemic, you on tour.
Hey, man, you know.
Ladies
up,
and
Trav?
gentlemen, this is Zaytoven, one of the biggest producers in the world that I get to call my brother.
Don't do that.
Listen, this is Travis Malloy. Welcome to For the People, brother. I appreciate you making time for me. You always make time for me, no matter what I ask you.
Definitely got to, bro.
Every time, literally. So I appreciate you, bro. Let's get right into it. I really want to know how you got started.
How I got started in music, period?
In music, period.
The way I got started is, you know, my dad is a preacher. My mom was a choir director. So my musical background is started in church, man. When I was a little boy, you know, you in church
Of course.
5 days out the week.
Of course.
So listen, when you're a youngster at church and you at church 5 days out the week, you got to find something to do.
Of course.
And what you gonna do? Start playing on them instruments, man. So I fell in love with music back then, man, when I was a little boy, you know, in church.
Uh-huh. So how did you get on the level that you're on now, as far as like, what was your launch? Was it the Gucci Man Connect? Was it the Future? Did you build with an artist? How'd you get that I'm here now?
Man, listen. I started making music in my mama's basement right here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And I definitely had to say it was the chemistry that me and Gucci Man had that, you know, that launched my career. Because when Gucci Man started blowing up, when Gucci Man started becoming like one of the biggest artists in the world, they want to know, like, oh, who's the one producing the music?
Exactly.
Like, song you hear Gucci talking about Zaytoven. Zaytoven is Zaytoven on the beat, Zaytoven. So it's like that's what, you know, catapulted me for me to be like a household name, a household producer name.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you this. What do you think your biggest song is that people know you from? Like what do people connect with immediately? Like that's what put Zay on. What's the biggest song you've done, you think?
Far as numbers wise, this is not the biggest song, but far as people recognizing me, and knowing like, okay, that's the song. I know that song. I know Zaytoven produced that. It'd have to be Versace, Migos, and Drake.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
people automatically know, oh, I know what that is.
Of
You know,
course. Of course. Of course. And
yeah.
I just found that out this week
It's what?
that you did that.
Oh, Travis.
Come
Come
on,
on,
dog. I was
man.
at church. Chill out. Wait. So let me ask this. I won't ask you how much your biggest check was, but what I am going to ask you is, what did you do with your first big check?
To me, my first big check was $25,000. You know,
Okay.
my dad is in the Army, my mom's a nurse. Ain't nobody in my household seen $25,000 at one time.
All day.
So you know what I did? I took 10,000. I gave my mom 5,000. I gave my pops 5,000 because I've been making music out of their house.
Of
Everything,
course.
every last dollar on my studio.
Wow.
Studio to look like, oh, that boy Zay got the big boy studio.
Right.
So I spent every dollar, man.
So let me ask you this. How do you feel about people are not really going into studios anymore? A lot of people are building them in their houses and doing the house. Do you think it's a different vibe? How do you feel about that?
I definitely feel like it's a different vibe, and it's because of technology. Sometimes I feel like it's cool. You get some fresh ideas, you get some new sounds out of it. But at the same time, I feel like it's taking the heart and soul out of music because now, you even as producers, you don't got to know how to play no music no more. The computer won't even let you hit a wrong note. It won't even let you get off tempo no more. You know what I mean?
Bro, you
Singers
want to
ain't
know
got
something
to
funny
sing.
about that? You want to
Yeah.
know something funny about that?
Right.
Do you know I be making beats from scratch? Like I just downloaded Arcade and Output this week. And when I seen how easy it is, I
It
said,
is.
oh, this is how they get rich.
It's how they getting rich. It's like you ain't got to know how. All you got to do is be computer savvy.
You
Tech
press
savvy.
one button and it
It's gonna
made the
make the
song.
beat. It's gonna make the beat for you. So
Boy,
I feel like I think it's gonna get worse before it get better. But it's a blessing to be able to be a musician
a real
and to
musician.
still be relevant in the game where other producers can look at me and say, well, I want to take the Zaytoven route. I want to
Yep.
learn how to play the keyboard. I want to learn how to work a drum machine. So,
Yep.
that's the game.
Let me ask you this. So you're married
Uh-huh.
to my sister,
Yes,
Steph.
sir. Uh-huh.
I want to know how important is it to have a woman like that hold you down? You all are like the Will and Jada of music. Like how important it is to have somebody like that hold you down with just the craziness of the music industry just in general.
It's one of the most important things. And I think the reason why I've been so motivated, the reason why I've been so blessed to where I'm at is having a woman, wife like Steph, that's always supportive. Now, when she was my girlfriend, she used to go tell everybody, oh, my boyfriend make the beats. You need to get some beats from him. It
I
feels
love
like
it.
that.
I love it.
So now that, I am who I am, it's like it just go hand in hand, man. She's definitely super supportive. And like I said, motivation for me. The reason why I keep going hard is because I know she watching. She keep encouraging me. She keep rubbing my shoulders like, hey,
All day.
do something with this, or what you got coming up next? What you doing?
I
So it's like,
love
I
it.
can work.
I love it. See, that's that 90s R&B love.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm trying to make, bro. I'm trying to get us
Oh, you
back to
got
that.
the same thing. But see, I'm gonna tell you like this now. Me and my wife, we was homies for a long time. So it wasn't even about us dating. It's just we just liked each other company. We just hanging with each other. We like the same music. We both into fashion. We both like the same things.
All
So
day.
that's how it turned into, oh, this is the woman I want to be with for the rest of my life. So.
I love it. I love it. I think that's incredible. Few more questions because I know you're on the move. Let me ask you this. With the climate of the music industry and how things are changing, how would you advise, if you had to advise these young producers and young artists that's getting money now, not to just spend it on jewelry and cars, but how would you advise them on how to maybe invest it, just in case a pandemic like this happens again, you're able to survive it? What would you say to a young producer that's got his first big royalty check?
Well, when you get your first big royalty check, it don't matter what advice you get. You finna buy whatever it is you couldn't buy before. It's like, man, I'm finna go buy that. Because I did the same thing. I said, man, I'm gonna go get this necklace. I'm gonna get a fur coat. I'm gonna get some Gucci shoes. You know what I mean?
Gucci shoes.
And it depends. Like a lot of times I tell producers, I mean, this is honestly speaking, it wasn't a bad investment for me because the way I looked, the way I was perceived to other people made people want to give me more money. Just as how I look, just as like if I'm a producer, if you the dopest producer, you got to look like the dopest producer.
Now that's the truth.
You know, that's the real deal.
The brand costs.
Come on, the brand costs, and people want to give people money that already got some money.
That's so true. You ain't got to pay for it when you look like you got it.
Man, you can have the #1 song in the world, and if you don't look like you got the #1 song in the world, it's like, oh, I don't really want to do anything with you like
right.
that.
But there's a way to do that without spending all your money.
No, you ain't supposed to spend all your money. No,
yeah, you got to just do
and
peace.
You know how that is. You,
look,
you
get the Gucci shoes this month, and then wait a couple weeks.
Then, yeah, you got to take your time with it. But it depends on what you into, man. It's like I always been into like I was a barber, so I got a barbershop. Of course, if you're a musician or a producer, you definitely want to have your own studio because that can always make money for you. It depends on what you're in. A lot of times these young people might be in the real estate. They might be investing in all type of stuff. But you definitely want to invest in something else besides the music because it can't slow down.
Of course, of course. And the last thing I want to talk about is me and your collaboration and how we met. I got to tell the story first.
Tell the story.
The story is a lot of y'all, which I want you to end with this. A lot of y'all don't know, and some of y'all do know because he's very, very proud about it. But Zay is a church musician. Jay is an organist. He donates his time every week to church, no matter what is going on. And I had no idea of that last year. Somebody was singing a song that I wrote in church, and they tagged me in the video because they wanted me to hear them sing. And while I'm listening to them sing, I see this curly haired guy playing the organ on my song, and I zoom in. I'm like, yo, is that Zaytoven playing my song in church? And I hit AJ. I said, AJ, yo, you got to connect me. We immediately connected, and from that moment on, we've been brothers, and we did our song together, Got You. What was that like shooting that video with me?
Man, believe it or not, one of the things I've been praying about my whole career is I want to work with gospel artists because that's what I come from. That's really all I know.
Yeah.
But I end up being the godfather of trap music. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but that's just like that's what God placed me.
Right, right.
So I mean, for me to work with a gospel artist, I've always been like, man, if I can just do some gospel music, something I can let my mama listen to and play over again.
Exactly.
So, and it was like one of the biggest blessings. And when he was letting me, I was like, hold on, the guy that the song we singing, he want to do a song with me. So to me, believe it or not, man, gospel artists like you, I didn't work with Dietrich, I didn't work with Lecrae, are like the biggest stars in the world to me because of what you guys represent. So working with you guys, it don't matter if your album only selling 5 copies. To me, that's platinum to me because it's like it's what we doing.
That's your foundation.
So, man, it was like a dream come true for me, bro.
That is absolutely incredible, and I'll never forget it. It's funny because that's the first trap song I ever did, and we killed it.
Oh.
When you send me the track, I start turning on Future. I was like, I got to figure out how to rap this beat, because I know how you are about that cadence. I said, how we gonna do it? So it worked out good. And for those of y'all that's watching right now, we got that song that's available right now. Travis Malloy and Zaytoven, Got You, brother. I really, really, really appreciate you. Last thing, what kind of conversation are you having with your son with all that's going on in the world with police brutality, raising a black son? Has that changed the trajectory of your conversation with him?
I haven't spent a lot of time on it. My biggest thing with my son is trying to be the best example and best hero I can be him.
Beautiful.
I look at my dad as like my hero, even though there's other people I looked up to. I like how they, I like the fact that they got style and fashion all that, but I always looked at my dad as a hero.
Okay.
And I feel like that alone, just the time we spent, me being an example for him, he kind of educated himself on certain things.
Of course.
And he takes certain things from me. I think they got to open it in there.
These your people right here.
Okay, but they got the click in there.
All right,
Sorry about that.
No, you good.
But yeah, man. So certain things, certain issues, you know, can be touchy. That's like I don't know if you're ready for it yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, I just try to be, you know.
And there's a way to talk to them because it's hard to have those conversations without kind of instilling a fear in
Fear,
them.
all
Because,
that.
yeah, because the truth is, I'm 32, but when I'm driving and the police is behind me, sometimes I get nervous. So I get it. You know, I get it. I get it. Well, man,
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming through. When we getting back in the studio, what's up?
Oh man, we getting in tomorrow.
Let's make it
I'm
happen.
ready.
Let's make it happen.
All
Brother,
right.
thank you for coming to For the People. You already know I love you.
Salute, bro. Thank you.
I'll see you in a minute.
All right, bro.
All right. Zaytoven, everybody. Man, I appreciate y'all. Did y'all enjoy that? That was incredible. That was incredible. That was incredible. Listen, your boy Zay is always on the go. He's always on the move. He's always on the go. Listen, if you're watching right now, you're not following me, come follow me. We always doing something, whether it's gospel, inspirational, R&B. Listen, the next album I'm doing is R&B. It's going to be really, really good. As you heard him, me and Zay, we about to get back in the studio tomorrow. That's how we do it. Listen, there was a time I was in the bed. It was 2 in the morning. Zaytoven texted me and said, yo, get to the studio. I didn't know where I was coming. Got to the studio. I'm in there with Jermaine Dupri. We in there, and I end up on a song with Zay and Jermaine Dupri. Sometimes you got to be ready. You just got to be there. This is one of them industries you got to be there. So listen, if you ain't following me, follow me. Listen, we're not done. We got a couple minutes left. I want to bring on one of my really, 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 really close friends. Appreciate y'all. Did y'all enjoy that? Did y'all enjoy that? Man, please post this in future episodes, man. I definitely will. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I'm going to bring in Jeff Skinner. We're going to talk about politics and what's going on in the world right now. Appreciate y'all. If y'all didn't follow me, come back. Jeff Skinner, everybody.
What up?
What up?
What up?
Listen, did you watch the interview?
I did.
Wasn't that good?
It was good. It was good. It was really transparent, you know, really inspirational. It was lit.
What I like about him is thank you, Cousin T. What I like about him is one of the biggest producers in the entire world and literally donates his time for free playing the organ every week.
Oh, wow.
Every week. And be in the studio with Future and Gucci and T.I. every other night, you know, and Usher. So that's just the humanity of that is incredible.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on. Listen, I don't watch the news really because the news kind of like is built to kind of instill fear in you sometimes. So, but I want y'all to know that this is my news. Jeff is my news. I don't watch the news. I call Jeff. If I see something online, I'd be like, Jeff, I just seen something going on. And he always knows what's going on. So, Jeff, this is what I want to start with. We're going to go from past to present. Let's talk about Ahmaud Arbery.
Okay.
And that situation. Tell the people that don't know what happened and where we're at right now.
Yeah, so you know, basically it's the same pattern of white people getting away with white supremacy, gunning people down in the street, not getting convicted, rinse and repeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it was a young black man jogging in his community, and I'm not sure if he and the white guys got into like an altercation. Regardless of the fact, they decided that they wanted to hunt him down and kill him.
Okay.
And basically this happened back in February, and an arrest wasn't made until a couple weeks ago. And it wasn't, you know, it just really speaks to the level of covert white supremacy that happens in this country all the time. Is that like the video wasn't new. The video was just new to us.
Exactly.
You know, and the fact that, you know, the Georgia Department of Investigations sat on this for 2 months and knew about it really just kind of speaks to, you know, you spoke about humanity just a few minutes ago. It really just kind of speaks to how white people disregard our humanity, you know.
Right. Let me ask you this. How do we have balance? Let me know in the comments, y'all, if you all know what we're talking about and if you've seen the video of the assassination, honestly, of Ahmaud Arbery. Let me know that you saw that. what I want to ask you, Jeff, is how do we have balance in operating in society with white people who are not racist? Because I know a lot of times this can put anger in us and cause us to just be irate and angry with all white people. How do you bring the balance of working with white people that are uncomfortable talking about it because they know they were born into something they didn't ask for? How do you bring balance to being pro-black, being, you know, fighting for our people, but also not taking it out on every white person?
You know, it's a really intricate dance to do, right? Like on one hand, you know, you see your brothers and sisters getting gunned down in the street, getting treated unfairly by a specific race, and then you got to go to work with those same people tomorrow. So some of it is just blatantly kind of putting pressure on those people, asking hard questions like, hey, did you see what happened? What are your thoughts on this? You know what I mean? And some of it is actually becoming versed in these issues and being able to have a just regular conversation with people and helping them understand what it's like to be black. Some white people legitimately just don't understand. Like, privilege isn't always money. Privilege in this context is just skin tone. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's a system built to advantage a specific skin tone. So, like, you know, whether you're white at McDonald's or you're white at Google, you're still white. You know what I mean? And regardless of what injustices you've dealt with, you haven't dealt with anything based on the color of your skin. And I think that having those conversations with those people does help them understand, because let's just call it a spade a spade. There are a lot of white people on y'all timelines that haven't shared any of this, you know, for the past few weeks. So I think some of it is, you know, for what it's worth, some people do live in a white bubble, and it is having those tough conversations like, hey, did you see this? What are your thoughts on this?
Right. Wow. You know, it's crazy because what I've seen really for the first time is especially with a foundation in gospel music, what I've seen is our gospel artists putting pressure on the CCM artists that they communicate with. So my question to you is, should they be putting a demand on the white evangelistics and the CCM artists to stand by us?
Yeah, I think there are two sides. There's two sides to this whole thing. There's one is, you know, some people aren't blind and some people know what's going on. You know what I mean? And their silence says a lot about their stance. It says a lot about their privilege. It says a lot about their covert white supremacy. A lot of CCM, for those who don't know, and a lot of white evangelical Christianity is white supremacy. You know what I mean? It's not, and we also have to stop viewing like white supremacy through the lens of the N-word. White supremacy is just you being disadvantaged and us being advantaged. You know what I mean? So like a lot of white evangelical Christianity is white people being at the top and black people being at the bottom. Our music is better. Your music is niggerish. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, some of the silence is the reinforcement of that system. You know what I mean? It's like, I know what's happening to God, but, you know, whatever, you know. So to answer your question, yes, there should be, I don't know if I would say a demand, but there should be conversations happening with people, specifically the people who profit off of black people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if y'all are going to TikTok to our music, y'all should at least be able to post a goddamn hashtag. You know what I mean? At minimum, right? You know.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I've seen that. I love Tasha Cobb said something, Jerome Kirkland. Tasha Cobb said something really profound. She said, if you're silent, I'm concerned. Absolutely. And that meant a lot for me to hear that from her because of her crossover movement to that world. And I think it's important for them to, I think, you know, it's funny, the most blatant thing I've seen that I think is really going to help them is that white woman on that video saying, I'm going to call and say an African-American is threatening me.
Yes.
I've never seen that said so blatantly in my lifetime.
Oh, absolutely. It's the fact that she was not in any immediate danger and the specificity in which she said that. She knew what she was doing. You knew that you could weaponize being a white woman and him being a black man. You
Yep.
knew how this could potentially play out.
Yep.
And that's what I mean. It's not always the N-word. In fact, white people, specifically white supremacists, and I think we always think of white supremacists as people in clan hoods, and that's not always the case. That's most of the time not the case. And you know what makes white supremacy, and I don't know why this is the topic, but we're here. But
Right.
why it's so effective is that you are only distracted by the N-word. Like that's what gets headlines, not the systemic people gunning a black man down on the street,
That's
them
good.
knowing about the video and not arresting them.
Jeff,
That's
this is
white
so
supremacy.
good.
You know what I mean? So it's not Colin Kaepernick taking a knee and everybody being outraged about that. Like, yeah, that's a big thing, but that makes headlines. But like 13% of the population of this country, making up half of the prison population, that's white supremacy. But that's not the N-word. You know what I mean? And that's the idea, is that these people are a lot more organized and mobilized than what we want to give them credit for.
Ooh,
You know.
that's good. My cousin Ann St. Drew, 24, said she was literally trying to get him killed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's scary that they operate with that power, but it's the system that was built in their head, that I have that power to get you killed.
Absolutely. It is, and it is a way to, in a sense, put black people in their place. It's how dare you challenge me? That's what that moment was. Or how dare you tell me to put my dog on a leash? This is my space. Let me put you in place. Let me call the police.
Yes.
There's an African American man here and he's threatening me. It's just all the same. It's the same shit that got Emmett Till hanged. You know what I mean? And we just see that same template, and it's just redressed. It's redone in a different way, but it's the same thing.
Period. Wow. So let me ask you this. I always tell people racism will never go away, but you're going to respect me.
Right.
But you're going to respect me. We can't change an entire culture and generation and make them love us.
No, that's never going to happen.
That'll never happen. Let me ask you this. I've been seeing a lot of, I want to know, I'm very curious to know what your stance is on this. Growing up, we used to hear it, but now I'm seeing it on Instagram. When people are saying now, we've been MLK for years. Now it's time to be Malcolm X. How do you feel about that statement? What do you think about that?
I'm a little more pro MLK than I am Malcolm, but what I will concede is that both are necessary. Let's just call it what it is. You need the Congressional Black Caucus, you need Angela Rye, but you also need the Black Panthers, because white people have both. You know what I mean? There is Jeff Sessions as Attorney General a few years ago, but there's also white men with Confederate flags that will go to the state capitol. So it's like you need both things to address both issues. So in the same sense, yes, we need Malcolms, but I don't want to disregard that we do need MLKs running for Congress and organizing and Black Lives Matter and NAACP. Like all those things are important because they address the systemic part of racism. They address redlining, they address the pipeline to prison, criminal justice reform. Like all of that is important, but we also need Black Panthers on the streets with guns because y'all not about to fuck with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you need both of those. So I'm not going to say that one is more important than the other, but I do think that both can kind of work hand in hand.
Right. Okay. I think that was great, bro. I want to ask you this. George Floyd was being detained. In being detained, as I saw in the video, he was being arrested, and then the next video you see the police officer's knee is in his neck, and minutes later he's dead. And this isn't our first time seeing a black man killed on camera. Let me ask you this. Let me save that question. I want to go here with you, Jeff. I want to ask you this, Jeff. What do you say to the people that say, well, what about black on black crime? What do you say to that?
I think that is a fair assessment. It's the right question at the wrong time, right? So
that's
like,
good, Jeff.
It's like, yes, that is an issue. White on white crime is an issue too. And so is Latino on Latino crime, and whatever ethnicity you want to pull out of your ass to fit your narrative. Yes, it's all a problem. But like the difference is when Ray kills Tyrone, and I know I'm being stereotypical, but this is a
No, this
black
is good. This
conversation.
is good, bro.
When Ray kills Tyrone, Ray is arrested, convicted, and he goes to jail. When Karen's husband kills Tyrone, you know, we wait 2.5 months for an arrest. You know what I mean? And we've seen people get arrested and not get convicted. We've
Yep.
seen people not get arrested, and that is the difference. Crime is an issue unilaterally. Yes, crime is
Hey,
an
you know, I
issue.
was watching a video last night of Tupac. Tupac said, the truth is we really want to kill the police, but we're scared, so we end up taking it out on each other because of the position that we're in.
I think that's fair.
He said, you
I
got
think that's
80 to
fair.
100 people in one building in the projects. He said, so the systematic oppression just in that alone, we end up taking it
Yes.
out on each other. But the
Yes.
truth is we really
And
want
that,
it.
and I think that's by design too, but that's an entirely different conversation,
Right. We'll
entirely
hit that
different
next
lie.
week.
Yeah, but that is the difference. Like I hate when people use that talking point of like black on black crime. Like, yes, that deserves its own town hall. That deserves its own initiative. But that's not what the fuck we're talking about right now. We're talking about black people dying on film. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, you know you're being recorded and don't give a fuck. Like, that's a different level of disrespect. That's a different level of disregard for humanity, and that should be addressed. And there's this continuous pattern of that, and it just robs that moment of its depth to conflate interracial crime to black on black crime. It's just, you know what I mean? Like the power equity isn't even the same to compare me and my peers versus a police officer and myself.
That's good, Jeff.
It's ridiculous, but you know.
What I gotta watch what I say. Look, my attorney just signed on.
Oh
Christopher
God.
Brown is on. Look, no. I'm just playing. My God, that's who takes care of me. So listen, I want to ask you this. I think you're one of the best. This is why I call Jeff. I don't even watch the news. I call Jeff, y'all. And this
He
is gonna
really
be
does call me.
Yes, this is gonna be every week, y'all. Every week I'm gonna have one of my artists, celebrity friends on there, and then we are going to talk to Jeff for the news. Listen, what can be done? What if you were in, you know, the legislation and all that? Like, what could be done for a black man to not be killed on camera? What kind of you know, things could be put in motion to stop that from happening from police officers?
Well,
Because cameras doesn't stop it. So what can really
no, it
stop?
doesn't. Cameras just reveal what the fuck been happening for the past 400 years anyway. So, you know, I think that, you know, there's I think we should understand what this moment is. And, you know, throughout history, there have always been movements that come off the coattails of opposite movements, right? So like, whether we want to admit it or not, the election of Barack Obama in and of itself, a black man in the White House, was a provocation for white supremacy, right? So like during the 8 years of Obama, while we were all focused on him and Michelle, there was this entire movement organizing behind the scenes. That same dynamic is at play here, right? So like while white supremacy occupies the White House and why all of these police officers go unchecked, it's our time to organize. And that's what we can't miss in this moment, is that it's really a time for unification, it's a time for organization, it's a time for mobilization. And black people need to run for Congress. Black people need to run for mayor. Black people need to run for state house, state legislature, city council, school board. There needs to be more people like us in rooms making decisions. That's number
good,
one.
Jeff.
Number two, you know, don't discount the NAACP. Don't discount the CBC. Those organizations are old, but they have been on the ground doing the work. They need your money, they need your time, and they need your energy. Same thing goes for Black Lives Matter. Hey, you might not want to necessarily be a part of an event where you might get tear gas, but they could use a share. They could use $1. You know what I mean? They could use a conversation like, hey, what do y'all need this month? Like, what can I do to help? What can we do to kind of help? You know, I saw y'all posting about this. Is there a chapter in my city? The other thing too is when y'all go to these jobs, whether it's McDonald's or whether it's a Fortune 500 company, y'all gotta start having these uncomfortable conversations with your white counterparts. And it doesn't have to be, you know, what the fuck is going on? How dare you? You need to get Karen, but it needs to be, hey, did you see this? You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on this? There has to be. We can't let, and that's what frustrates me about people. And I'm going off into a rabbit hole now, but that's what frustrates me people talking about withholding their vote for a black agenda, getting the Grand Wizard of the KKK the fuck out of the White House should be the number one thing on the agenda. Everything else that y'all want, like your student loan canceled and all of that other shit, you can't get any of that without getting him out of the White House. So like all of that black agenda stuff doesn't matter if you don't win. You know what I mean? So like, I get it. There's certain things y'all want to see. Some people are still salty about their specific candidates, didn't make it. That's fine. But guess what? 2024 is coming. And guess what? As soon as, if Biden wins, as soon as he gets in the White House, I'm all with y'all on this black agenda. I'm with y'all on reparations. But right now, we have one person who can beat Trump. That is Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
None of this stuff matters. So that's where we should be. This is a time we see what's happening. It's coming to a head. It's coming to a boil. It is time to unify. It is time to mobilize. Period. The rest of this shit y'all want to do don't matter. It don't matter right now.
And this is coming in November.
This is in November.
Can you imagine that 4 years has gone by this quick?
Yep.
Man, time has flown.
Time has flown by. Time has flown by.
So it's time for us to get to work. It's time for us to get to work.
It's time for us to get to work. Absolutely.
And tell the people what you're going to be doing, because the people are loving you on here, and that's why you're going to be here every week. Listen, I'm only bringing the best of the best. Tell people what you're going to be doing and what you'll be pursuing when it comes to, you know, those different levels of governmental foundation.
Put me on the spot now. It's a few things. One, I've rebranded my Instagram, and I'm starting to use that platform to just push more social justice issues, especially those in the intersect Black community. I'm going back to school. Whoop, whoop. That's actually what I was doing all day, was studying.
Okay.
So I want to be able to kind of position myself, not just with tenacity and charisma, but also with knowledge. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I am. Maybe a congressional run at some point in the future.
Right.
I don't know. You know, we'll see. But right now, you know, the best thing you can do is to support me. I guess it's just follow me. I'm not asking for no money or nothing like that. You know, just kind of follow me on this journey.
Definitely
That's where
follow
I'm at.
my brother. And Bobby Trends, if you can, put Jeff's Instagram name in the comments so that people can see it and follow him. Because again, you ain't gonna miss him, because he's gonna be on here every Wednesday talking about different current events and things like that. We got 10 minutes left, and I want to probably spend 5 of it talking, Jeff, about the stimulus package. I didn't get one, so I'm not really as educated on the stimulus package and plan. But I want you to kind of talk about, and I'm gonna pin, if I can pin this. I don't even know how to do that. So talk about the stimulus check. What was that? What is it for? Is it coming again? Was that hey, vote for me again check? I heard somebody say, I'm throwing a whole bunch of questions at you at once. I heard somebody else say the stimulus checks are a prime example that there was money for Flint.
It is true. Yeah.
So I want to know about that. So start from the check all the way to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, when you get Republicans and Democrats to agree on something, that means we are in a crisis, right? You know, when hell and earth can agree on one thing, then we are in a fucking crisis. So I think the fact that they could just agree that everybody needed cash money right away spoke to just the kind of the gravity of the pandemic, right? Republicans saw, I don't want to get too in the weeds on it, but Republicans saw an opportunity to kind of throw some money to the people who help get them in office. There's a lot of big business, a lot of oil businesses, stuff like that. Democrats saw the same opportunity, to be quite honest. But for what it's worth, they're not going to do it again. There just isn't enough political capital to push through another multi-trillion dollar bill like that. It's just not going to happen. So I hope y'all got y'all 1,200. Hope y'all got y'all unemployment. It's just, as states begin to reopen, that was the point of the reopening of the states. But mind you, once they realized who was disproportionately affected by the pandemic and who wasn't, that was the purpose of the reopening of the states.
Of course.
Is that once your job opens up, you're then pushed off unemployment because now you have a job to go back to. So that frees up money. And then if people are back to work and businesses are reopening, then there's no need for a stimulus. The next round of stimulus will go to businesses. If there is another round of stimulus, it'll go to business. But it's killed. Y'all got your 1,200. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all spent it well or saved it whatever, did a little project at home, but it's not going to be no more money. The Democrats passed another package in the House, but their bill is not going to be taken up to this in the Senate to even be signed by Trump. That's just never going to happen. I just don't see a world where Republicans will do that.
Right.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Explain to the people that may not understand bankruptcy. I read that Neiman Marcus was filing for bankruptcy, and some people thought like, oh wow, a big company like that can't survive a 3-month pandemic. Is that what that means, or does it mean something else?
Essentially, it's just funny how kind of like people have been preaching to Black people for years, and I guess to white people too, is that we need to have 6 months of money saved up for emergencies. And now these fucking companies didn't have 6 months of money saved up for an emergency. I just think that's ironic. But that said, bankruptcy is just, you don't have enough money to pay your liabilities. And Neiman Marcus is, I guess, disproportionately hit because they're kind of like in the luxury arena. Brick and mortar companies are hit anyway, right? Because we aren't out shopping at malls. So I'm assuming, I haven't done a lot of research on Neiman Marcus. I'm just assuming that
just bankruptcy in general.
Yeah, that they're having cash flow issues. Like if y'all aren't buying Louis Vuitton bags or whatever the designers they carry, then they don't have the cash to pay the rent on buildings and pay salaries and stuff like that. So bankruptcy just kind of protects their creditors from suing them, essentially.
Okay. So what is the next step in regards to what's going on right now? How do you feel about the anger that we've seen on the news today in Indianapolis with the protest for George Floyd? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like we're handling that correctly based on what we've experienced and what we've gone through? What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think protests are effective. You know what I mean? I think protests it's like a valve opening in a sense. Like it allows people to let off steam. It allows people to say, hey, we're not happy with what's going on. So I think that it's effective, especially in the middle of a pandemic. You got everybody's at home watching. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to tell people not to protest because I think they're effective. Even the protests that I don't agree with. And I think that's a really point of distinction is that while I don't agree with people protesting not wearing a mask, I will always defend the person's right to protest because this is America. You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily have to agree with what you're protesting against or protesting for, but your right to do it is your right to do it. So, I think in this case, it's definitely important.
Okay. So do you all have any questions?
Seems like all the questions about Joe Biden being a pedophile, which is just not true.
I've seen that, and I think I put her out of the chat.
It's just not true, But even if it were, I believe the number is 26 women have credibly accused Trump of sexual assault, like 26. He also used $130,000 of campaign money in 2016 to pay off a porn star to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So, like, if we want to get into this back and forth about which rapist is the more bigger rapist, we can do that. It's not true, but like, sure, and that picture, that gift that people that I see floating around with Joe Biden and this little girl kissing her, that's his granddaughter. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe y'all grandfathers didn't kiss y'all, and that's okay, but don't project your discomfort with physical emotion and intimacy on a presidential candidate. And again, this is not y'all grandfather. Y'all don't have to shake hands with them. You don't have to go to bed with them. You don't have to marry him. I just don't understand this having to fall in love with these candidates. Barack Obama, people, is gone. He is gone. He will never run again. Michelle's not running. He will campaign for Biden. That's it. Barack Obama is a once in a lifetime candidate, not once in a election, once in a lifetime candidate. So y'all are waiting for an Obama to ride on a white horse and save this country. It's not gonna fucking happen. You getting your ass up and voting for the candidate that best represents your interests is what's going to save this country. I don't believe that Biden is a pedophile, but even if he is, one pedophilic or whatever the past tense of that is, one of those is not worse than 26.
Right.
So let's not play this game.
Right.
Y'all get up, stop falling for the okie doke, stop falling for the rope-a-dope, whatever you want to call it. Get up and vote. Period. Nobody asking y'all to lay in the bed with the man in the middle of the night. Like none of that matters. It's ridiculous. These ridiculous arguments people get in. We saw the same thing in 2016. Guess what the fuck that got us? You know, if 75,000 between the 77,000 people swung this election, that's Detroit, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. Just think if we just had 30,000 more black people show up in that election, we'd be having a different conversation right now. So that's why those type of comments frustrate me, because y'all lose the bigger picture. Y'all lose the bigger picture of like the shit that y'all fake care about and repost. Y'all don't get any of that without Biden. He is your means to an end.
That's very true.
And you have to view him as that way. You have to start viewing politics in that way, is that you're not going to fall in love with every candidate. You have to get in the corner with people whose agenda overlaps yours. Y'all not going to agree. And you know what? White people don't get everything they want every election cycle. They
and that's
want
just
warrant.
in general.
Like, come on.
Sometimes you got to work for a boss you don't like.
Come on.
And in music, and I'm very vulnerable in music. I learned this from Sean Stockman of Boyz II Men. He said, because of how vulnerable we are musically, a lot of times when we work with people, we fall in love with them. And then they do bad business with us, and then we're hurt. And we're offended because we fell in love. You don't have to love everybody you work with. You ain't got to go to dinner with everybody you meet. So I definitely get that. Definitely get that.
And you know, it's just we're so transactional about work. Like you just said, y'all drive a goddamn car y'all don't like. Y'all go to a job every day y'all don't like. Some of y'all sleep with motherfuckers y'all don't like. But the president gotta be perfect. The president gotta be perfect. Come on. Are y'all what rock?
Vaughn, I know you like that, Vaughn. I know you like that, Vaughn.
What rock have y'all been under for 4 years to where the person who was probably going to save this country deserves all of this critique? And y'all don't have this much critique in y'all personal lives. But the person who's going to save this goddamn country is a pedophile. Come on, y'all. Stop this same 2016
Some of y'all
bullshit.
stayed in churches where the pastor had more.
Then,
Well, that's another.
Come on, that's another lie.
Because I only got 2 minutes left. Jeff, y'all clap it up for Jeff. This is my brother, y'all. This is one of my best friends. Vaughn Jenner said, down. She can't take it. This is one of my best friends in the whole world, y'all. And I'm so glad to have him a part of this show. For the people, I appreciate y'all watching. Jeff, I appreciate you all coming on. Jeff, I appreciate you coming on. Right.
Somebody said people not in love with their significant other.
That's just the truth,
yo.
That's
this
just
was
the
a good
truth.
Conversation.
Jeff, again, thank you again. You know I'm gonna hit you up when we go off, so we can
Okay.
talk about next week.
Okay.
Appreciate you, brother.
Of course.
All right. Y'all, is that Jeff not crazy? Oh my God. Listen, it says I got 2 minutes left. If you're on here and you're not following me, please come follow me at Travis Malloy. My manager just signed on, Tar Griggs McGee. Listen, if you're not following me, please follow me right now at Travis Malloy. I'm excited. This went way better than I thought. Zaytoven killed it. And then we brought on the news specialist, the politician, Jeff. We call him the mayor. I'm really, really excited about where this is going. Next week, be on the lookout because we'll be back again next week at 8 o'clock, and it's going to be crazy. I might even have more than 2 special guests on there. So listen, for those of you that are interested in doing voice lessons, voice coaching, learning about songwriting, production, monetizing your compositions, please DM me. I will be presenting a class, a virtual class online, and I will be putting more information up about that next week. So if you're interested in that and getting that from Travis Malloy, I mean, there's a lot of different people doing that, but if you're getting it from Travis Malloy, I want you to inbox me and let me know that you're interested so I can send you more information on that. Thank you all so much to all my supporters, my fans that's out there. Y'all make sure y'all go out and vote this year. We need it like never before. I love y'all. Follow me, hit me up, let me know y'all loved it. And go online and tell everybody about For the People. repost the flyer and let everybody know how amazing it was tonight and that you're looking forward to next week. Welcome to For the People. We out.